Good day everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and this is Sunday the 18th of August 2019, and this is the weekly outlook for the third week of August, and we will cover the Euro, Cable and the Aussie pairs together, and I'll make a separate video for the spot gold and dollar yen. So just looking back at the Euro for last week, it had a bearish week. See that it was a bearish close, and it was definitely a bearish engulfing for the week, and it fell below the 111 area. It started with poor Eurozone ZU and German ZU economic figures on Tuesday and continued to weaken throughout the week. The 4-hour chart will show the break below on the Wednesday, while after starting with bad news on Tuesday and followed by a break on Wednesday and then Thursday, and continue to break lower on the Friday. So this week there's only some Eurozone flash PMIs for services and manufacturing on Thursday, followed by the ECB monetary policy meeting minutes. So we'll see whether there's any potential relief for a recovery to climb back above the 111 area. But otherwise, Euro looks to be bearish in the short term, and it could break lower to test the recent lows at the 110.30 area. All right. Meanwhile, for the cable, pound dollar. Last week there were a number of good news on the jobs front, CPI and retail sales, and initially it struggled to climb above the 121 level, but it did manage to eventually break through on Friday, and then had a bullish close for the week and hit the weekly R1 pivot level. So this week there's no UK related news, so we'll see whether there will be a continuation move higher for the rest of the week, and to see whether it can break above this high of the 122, just above 122.09, and to see whether it can get back up to the 138 Fibonacci extension level around 122.50. That will be the next key resistance zone to watch out for. And moving on to the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar is still consolidating between the 0.68 resistance level and support from the 138 Fibonacci extension level around the 0.6740 area. And there was fairly good news on the jobs front, and that's why I managed to find support and climb back up above the weekly pivot. But then after hitting the close to the 0.68 level again, it pulled back and retreated close back below that level. So on a weekly chart, it closed as pretty much as a doji. So there could be further consolidation, and we'll see whether there's any chance of a recovery to break above the 68 level. Okay, initially there was some relief when the US announced a delay in tariffs of the 10% tariffs on China goods till mid-December, and but that was only temporary, and following that on Wednesday retraced everything back down and only recovered with positive jobs figures. Okay, for the rest of the news for this week is mainly monetary policy minutes for the RBA on Tuesday, FOMC late Wednesday afternoon, which will be early Thursday morning for Singapore. And in the evening on Thursday, there's ECB monetary policy minutes as well. However, the key events will be towards the end of the week on Friday and Saturday, where there's the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is mainly an economic forum, and that will include central bankers and finance officials and academics around the world. And Fed Chair Powell is scheduled to speak at that symposium, so it will be a key event to watch out what his speech will entail, and to see what his thinking is on the recent events on trade tensions, and we'll see whether there's any clue on what the Fed could do in the next meeting in September. All right, we'll follow up later on Tuesday on the daily analysis, and have a good trading week till then, and